आई एम ऑडिबल सर?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
दिलीप सर, सेशन तो 6:30 शुरू होगा ना?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। मैं तो वैसे टेस्टिंग कर रहा हूँ सर, बस।
ठीक है जी, ठीक।
हाँ, वो एक बार वीडियो ऑडियो मैंने चेक कर लिया।
हाँ
सेशन तो
जी।
हाँ, 6:30 पे स्टार्ट होगा।
ठीक है जी, ठीक।
जी सर।
क्या बजा? 6:30।
Dear participant, kindly mute yourself.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening. And first of all, I'm very sorry for this delay.
No,
Uh,
ma'am. No.
A lot is going on today, maybe the hectic day, 3 sessions separately. And that's
Okay.
why maybe.
Okay, ma'am. Participants are joining, so we will start the session within 2 to 3 minutes, ma'am.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
believe, sir, we should start the session, I think.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Dilip, the moderator for today's session. A very warm welcome to our respected speaker and participant present here for this enriching faculty development program on advanced computing for sustainable development, AI-driven innovations in real-life applications. In previous sessions, we have already covered the following. Day 1, we have covered theoretical foundation of AI, computational approaches for AI-driven sustainability. Day 2, we have covered AI for smart sustainable cities and developing AI workflow with no code platform, a hands-on approach. Day 3, we have covered green computing, foundation and future trend and advanced AI technique for sustainable development. Day 4, we have covered the role of cybersecurity in advancing sustainable development goals and AI-driven healthcare for sustainable communities. And today, first session is on role of AI-driven innovation in real-life applications. Now, it is my honor to introduce our respected speaker for this session, Dr. Seema Bawa, Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and Dean Outreach at Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. Bring over 26 years of rich experience in teaching, research, and institutional leadership. Her area of interest include generative AI, conversational AI, smart parking, blockchain technology, GPT, and prompt engineering, along with machine learning, deep learning, and data science. She has held several key academic and administrative positions, including Dean Student Affairs, Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and Network Manager for many years. Her master degree from IIT Kanpur is rooted in statistics, and she further earned an MTech in Computer Science and Data Processing from IIT Kharagpur. Before joining Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala in 1999, Dr. Bawa gained valuable industry experience serving for 6 years in a multinational corporation as senior software engineer, project leader, and project manager. Dr. Bawa has guided 28 PhD candidates and published over 200 papers in reputed journals, accumulative more than 3,200 citations with an H index of 30. Now, may I request our respected speaker to kindly take over the session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me here for the nice introduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm really happy to be here and share whatever knowledge I have gained so far. And as I say, I would like to share. So everyone, please feel free to ask questions. Rather, asking is very important, right? So it's not just I tell something and you are supposed to just, all of you are faculty. So I would be happy to answer if there are some questions also. So with that, I would like to start my presentation. Is my slide shared? I'll share my PPT first. So keep on writing down your questions, raise hand in between if you have to. All right. Is my slide visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
And I am audible properly to each and everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So I would like to, as already decided the topic of today, broadly around that, I will be moving. Role of artificial intelligence driven innovation in various other real life applications. Some already have been dealt in beginning, and maybe tomorrow also there is one more session on this. So I try to exclude those specific areas of sustainability in this session, but anyway, we can have discussions over it also. So 26 years in Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology. I have visited MMU a number of times, not very recently, but yes, in last decade, 3, 4, 5 times, maybe I remember, and have wonderful fond memories of the institute. So, yeah. Yeah. So we'll discuss first of all the dual purpose of artificial intelligence. Initially, yes, it was automation. We tried to do many things with computer. Those we wanted to automate manual things. We wanted to do it faster, like some calculation, computations, etc. And that's how the AI had started. So I was discussing with my son, who already is an engineer from IT Delhi, that even I studied when I was doing masters from IT Kharagpur, the course called AI, Artificial Intelligence. I exactly remember I learned the languages Prolog and Lisp. I created an expert system for character recognition. So then why the buzzword after 26, rather 30 years, 3 decades, now people say AI has come and news readers, everyone, AI is here. While 30 years back also AI was there. So what's new? So the simple answer which came, which was very profound in itself, he said AI is a moving goalpost. The way we looked at AI earlier, now the role has changed, now the platform has changed, technology has changed, purpose has changed. And today, most of the time, once we refer to AI, it is one specific form of AI called generative AI, GPT. Most of the time, yes, there are conversational AI, there is explainable AI. I would try to touch upon these as well, and little bit of generative AI, GPT, because that remains the backbone of artificial intelligence. Just as our mind actually generates, it does not copies. Once I'm speaking, for example, here, nowhere in the same sequence it is written that I'm going to speak these words, some pauses, some gestures, somewhere I'll highlight more, somewhere I'll entertain the question. But depending upon the response which I'm receiving, if suppose there is a raise hand, I would say, okay, what's the question? Who want to speak or ask me? So that's mind is generating. And once the same thing like human intelligence has evolved, has been tapped through this machinery called computer, this AI has become phenomenal, right? So artificial intelligence today is able to do those creative part also, other than just the mundane work of automating things, because it is trying to work, it is mimicking the way our human brain works. So dual purpose, efficiency plus innovation. Unless we innovate, unless we look at the new ideas, the way of working is new, then we are simply kind of translating our work from physical to computer doing the same thing or AI doing the same thing. So please, it's my request that do not use your GPT or any part of AI, any type of AI for leaving your creativity, your innovation. That's very, very important, and the borderline also. So shifting from animation to co-creation with humans. Today, the AI succeeds only if we are co-creating. I'm directing what output I want. I'm the co-creator, not the other way around, right? So this is again very, very important thing. Sustainability, because the whole FDP is around AI for sustainability. It has become a driving factor in deploying the AI. Mainly sustainability revolves around uh, to make any design or any code or any application so that it uses less resources and it sustains as long as possible. And finally, the last point in the slide is very brief yet very profound. AI innovation is not just the automation. It is a transformation. Once we are able to transform our applications, our outcomes, our way of working, then I think we are going to be successful in this mission. Just look at this picture. And can someone tell me what's happening here? Which type of application here these drones are being used? Anyone? And it's okay if you are not able to make the right guess, it's perfectly fine. I just want it to be more interactive. एंड उससे ये भी पता चलेगा कौन सुन रहा है मुझे ध्यान से, या सुन भी रहा है कि नहीं. हेलो. Oh my God, there are 100+ people locked in. Yes, Ramya? Tell me.
Ma'am, analyzing the accident place.
We are listening.
Let Ramya speak first. Yes, Ramya.
Ma'am, the
finish.
drone is analyzing the accidental place.
Yeah, it's an accidental place because we can see red lights and other color of light. So it's a catastrophe. It's a somewhere some crisis, right? Maybe as we witnessed in Delhi, there was a bomb blast, and then we need. So for crisis management, if we are able to use the AI for knowing what has happened and then for why it has happened, post analysis, post mortem, everything, then this is one of the main purpose where human capacity kind of fails, or we are not able to comprehend what has happened suddenly. There's a blast and maybe 50+ people have been injured, some vehicles, all that. So in such cases, if we deploy AI, that would be one of the desired use of AI. Yes, Dr. Sanjeev Puri, did you wanted to say something? So as we are discussing about some of the usages, real life applications where AI can help and should help. So this is one such. So wherever there is a life involved or there are lives involved, it's better to be more precise. It's better to be more fast, more efficient in troubleshooting the problem or in preventing the things from happening. So disaster management is one such major area. So once we try to understand AI-driven innovation, the value chain, innovation value chain remains that first we collect the data. Always these models, as compared to the programming languages which we were using in last decade, like C, C++, Java, now the machine learning models are truly based on the data, the right data. So the big data needs to be pruned first, and then we deploy whichever machine learning model fits my application. So from data to models to deployment, and finally, we are able to change the impact, right? And that's the whole purpose, the predictive analytics. The analytics, the analysis of data, we want to do so that we are able to, as we saw in the previous slide, resolve the conflicts. We are able to handle some catastrophe if it has happened. We are able to do the decision making in business, association rule mining, etc., whatever. So integration of AI into product, into services, and societal innovation. So whichever segment we are working on or we wish to work upon, we can deploy the AI based on the right data. We'll discuss some aspects related with data also, by deploying the right models and therefore taking care of the impact. Human AI collaboration is needed, as I already said, not just telling the engine, the AI, the GPT, do this for us. There, we won't have our own creativity involved, our own involvement, our own application-specific expertise we will not be able to give. And therefore, human AI collaboration is very, very important. So it's a co-evolution of intelligence of humans, us, and the machine, the GPT, the engine, and various machines involved in deep learning era, right? So co-evolution of intelligence is needed. And this innovation through adaptiveness is important. Adapting means just as we also adapt to environment, right? If I wear a particular dress and then I feel a little bit more cold, I would try to have some additional layer or some warmer dress. So adaptation is needed based on the feedback from environment, right? So for example, here, if I ask question, that is due to adaptiveness. That is, are people with me? Should I be?
ठीक है चलो okay. Bye.
Kindly mute yourself. Yeah. So should I be slow? Should I be loud? Should I be showing some picture now? Because after 10 minutes of a span, we kind of, our retention becomes slower, our perception gets affected, and therefore, so innovation through adaptation, predictiveness, and generative systems. I would like to switch a little bit towards generative part. In between, if you have some questions or something to discuss, I'll take up that. Let me share the other part. So are you guys finding it interesting?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
All right.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
That's most easy answer, but most pleasing also. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I'm almost ready. And I'm sure you would definitely love this part. Because I keep on speaking on this topic, and some aspects which are actually needed to be shared. Back and try to share. See, just as computer say डरना नहीं चाहिए, likewise GPT also. So how many of you use some form or the other of GPT? कोई ऐसा है जो GPT use ही नहीं करता?
Always uses each and everything.
Okay. So another very important question. It's wonderful that you use आज के time में, if we are not AI literate, then we are not even literate. That's what is being said. So I repeat, if we do not even know how to use this latest language called generative AI or AI, in that case, we are missing a lot. So we must be using any of these GPT forms, yet at the same time, having a proper license, right? If I use, say, Chat GPT and I have not paid for it, then sorry to say, you won't get the capability. It is just the dabba. It will look like as if it is giving you the right answer, but it does not. Therefore, it's very important, have a right licensed, whichever form, Claude or Chat GPT, you are going to pay. Yes, there is a cost involved, some 10, 12, $15 per month, like that. So maybe institution can have and you guys can share, but the actual capability will not come unless you pay for it. So sometimes people say it does not give right information, it does not link to right kind of, say, research paper. It's only because if you have not purchased it, it is just a pseudo code kind of thing. It does not work. So are you able to see this slide, generative AI?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. So generative AI, the focus on generative part here, as I said, there are other AIs also, conversational AI, XAI, explainable AI, which I'll touch upon briefly only, but here I'll spend some 3-4 minutes on generative AI. The generative part, the Gen AI, creates new content, the contents which do not exist anywhere else. It could be an audio, it could be a code, it could be images, text, or video. Till the previous versions of GPT, it was only you give in text your question and what you get is text only. But with the new Copilot, now the newest version, you can speak, you can give your input in audio and get audio. You can give your code images or scan, right? So have you noticed in Google also when you are searching something, there's a microphone and there is a camera thing. Have you noticed? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. Noticed.
Yes. And please use it also. So now your Google search engine is also many fold more empowered, more powerful. You just speak something and yes, it takes the input. You scan something, the Google Lens, for example, it's there. You light something, you just take a picture and give it a search and it'll tell you where all you can buy it or is available, all those things. Say a movie title you give and it gives a related trailer and a link and a cast and etc etc. So it's a most wonderful thing which has already happened. It's like you have got such a empowered giant to help you out, yet you just need to give a right prompt. And if I tell you this, this magic of how to write a right prompt, that's $1 million thing. But I'll share you for free because it's an open source kind of community, right? So that's about prompt engineering, how to write a powerful prompt. Let me finish with this generative AI and AI artificial intelligence, we know automatically using a computer program. Yeah. So the last thing you see, maybe some other things, your Uber and your Instagram and all these, they took so many weeks or months to reach to 100 million people, but ChatGPT within 2 weeks, it had reached. And it was GPT's version 3.4, due to which this GPT became so phenomenal, called ChatGPT. This is one app on GPT. And now there are various other variants already available in the market. The full form of why I'm showing you transformer. This transformer is T of GPT. So G is generative. Can anyone tell me what is this P for? आप साथ में भी लिख सकते हो, सर्च कर सकते हो. Yeah.
Trained, ma'am.
Someone has written also, Jatin Grover, pre-trained. So this generative, pre-trained, trained transformer. Pre-trained because already the training has happened. Like in machine learning, this is also a great learner. It is still learning. Some data already has been given of hundreds of years, maybe. Many years data is fed into it, already it is trained, and therefore it is able to predict and foresee the answer, and that too in so many fabrics go on once you are writing also, and then it takes some seconds to repeat your thank you sir for asking this and I'll answer your question. In the meantime, it is going, collecting information, coming back and giving it to you in the form you want, whether you want a text or a PPT or PDF or poem, whatever. So it's a large language model, LLM. Large because size is huge, and it's a language model. So transformer is the only thing. I won't go into the detail right now. The slide is already given to you. And here is transformer. In 2017, this transformer, which has superseded RNN and LSTM, right? So this transformer, though it was meant for language processing from word to word, word to vector, vector to vector, etc., LLM was being evolved to work better with languages, but it so happened that this outperformed the CNN also, convolution neural networks also, images also, videos also. And that's why today only the LLMs are ruling the world, right? In their different avatars now. And before that, another phenomenal thing happened is attention mechanism, right? How will transformer work with brain signals? Wonderful question. Yeah, they do work well, but how well, that depends on the application. Brain signal, you have said, maybe currently I'm not ready to answer this question because I've never explored like this. Yeah, I got your question. EEG signals. I'll take up this little bit later. Currently, I'm not ready, as I already said, because I'm just building up the flow of this discussion with you guys. Thank you. Yeah, so this is a little bit of history. So as you can see, what I was speaking, that RNN, LSTM, word to vector, etc., with attention mechanism. And what is this attention mechanism? One paper from Google, there was some 7-8 people, guys working in Google. They wrote a research paper, which again became like a Ved Vakya. And that's why we have this GPT. Can anyone tell me? It's wonderful, matlab, very plain, simple English. The title of that paper. I'll give it to you. Which paper? On attention by 7-8 Google. Yeah, wonderful. These are wonderful people, Jatin Grover. Attention is all you need. So one paper. Yeah. Attention is all you need. This is title of the paper, which revolutionized the word. पूरी दुनिया में revolution आ गया, GPT की धूम मच गई. बेस में क्या है? Just attention. Attention is all you need. Yeah, ये paper first page इसका ऐसा लगता है. There are 4 + 4, 8 guys, mostly from Google. Yeah, some from other places also, University of Twente. And this has led to transformer. And therefore we have GPT, therefore we have ChatGPT, therefore we have generative AI working in place phenomenally. So a little bit about CNN and RNN on signals or images. Earlier we were using, rather even now we use CNN, convolutional neural network, which is spread over space, used for images. RNN, which is a reoccurrence of word after word, spread over time. First one over space. So RNN does work of CNN also. Rather, transformers do both things quite well, pretty well. Should I shift to the previous? Maybe a little bit, I will continue more. 4 or 5 types of learnings in machine learning: semi-supervised, supervised, unsupervised, self-supervised. But this GPT is RLHF, reinforcement learner through human feedback. You can note down maybe somewhere. Your generative pre-trained transformers are reinforcement learner. They reinforce learning. So just as I say, Alexa, समय क्या हुआ है? And I was surprised to see Alexa answers me, समय दोपहर के 2:15 हो रहे हैं. So if you ask Alexa what's the time, it says time is 2:15 p.m. But if you say, Alexa, समय क्या हो गया? Then I get back the response through human feedback. If I speak, and once I was half awake and Alexa kept on my head, I said, Alexa, time क्या हो गया? And Alexa भी whisper करके बता रही है, समय दोपहर के 3:15 बज गए, whatever. Can you imagine? This kind of adaptation is already happening. So whether it is generative AI or conversational AI, right? All these chatbots are example of conversational AI. They are so adaptive. जिस फॉर्म में, जिस शेप में आप इनपुट दोगे, उस तरह में ही आपको आउटपुट मिल जाएगा, वो भी very finely processed. Yes? Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. तो जो हम एनालिटिक्स की बात कर रहे हैं, whole purpose of doing all this crunching, data crunching, creating models is we want to do something. और mainly एनालिटिक्स हमारी 4 तरह की हुई. जैसे हम डॉक्टर के पास भी जाते हैं, पहले हम डिस्क्राइब करते हैं कि आई एम फीलिंग दिस, आई गॉट फीवर, और आई हैड बैकएक, और आई गॉट क्रैम्प्स, व्हाटएवर. So that's descriptive analytics, right? We need to describe whatever is the system under consideration. जो भी real life application है, उसको describe तो करना पड़ेगा through some data, right? Sizes, there's so many yards of centimeters, whatever be the unit, you need to describe everything, height, breadth, blood group, etc., depending upon the use. And then based on the description, some predictive analytics. So if you can describe, then only you can predict. Unless you describe properly in right form with right data, just describing some 2, 3, 4 or 10 or 100 cases doesn't make a data set, right data set. So having the right data, keep on collecting the data on some phenomena which you want to create a system for. So first describing and then predicting. Based on the prediction, then prescriptive analysis, where you say, for example, the doctor prescribes, do this. If you are having fever more than 100, then better you take paracetamol or things like that, which has the power of correction, right? So just knowing, predicting that this may happen, we may have flood in month of July 15, July, the date 15, is of no use unless we correct it. If some places are risk prone, flood prone, then better we make some corrections beforehand. And after prescriptive analytics, generative AI can do anything for you. Seek the help. Seek previous cases or ask it to solve. It can write code also for you. Even in transformers, the evolution has been so fast. Transformers of 2017, now transformers of 2021 was 1,000 times faster. And today we are in 2025. And that's why these are called large language models, phenomenally large, right? As you can see, we may write big questions on GPT, and instantly, means not even 10 seconds it takes once it starts writing down your answers. So coming back to prompt engineering, note it very carefully. And again, as I said, that is $1 million kind of submission to you guys, recipe to you guys. Most of the time we just ask, we write down what we want to ask. Simple. That can become thousands times more efficient if you write before that question something. And it can become customized to you if you write after your question something. And these two somethings I would tell you. So very first part before the question is giving it a role. So suppose GPT is a giant, say Sabu of Chacha Chaudhary. Those who know Chacha Chaudhary and Sabu, Sabu was a giant and Chacha Chaudhary was a wise man. So if wise man says khana lao, तो capacity Chacha Chaudhary की इतनी है कि वो maybe tons of laddus he will get if he applies his mind, because that's what he eats, he may give you. But if you say carefully, no, I want a hot cup of coffee with some hazelnuts flavor and all that, it'll bring that only. So first of all, defining the role, the capability of GPT, which you want to extract. So suppose asking the same question from, say, 7th class student, or asking the same question from a PhD in that area, or asking the same question from director of your institution, of course, the response, the perspective will be different. No one would be wrong, but the experience, the reliability, the perspective, the imagination will be different in each case. So first you say how you wanted to reply. Now suppose someone was asking EEG signals, how good are some particular thing. Then you give it a role. Assume you are a doctor or a psychologist or a neurologist or a nephrologist, whichever role. So you want to ask about kidney, you say, assume you are a nephrologist, experienced nephrologist. You have practiced this. So whatever role you want to give, first say, and then you ask your question. You see the difference. So first was just like asking a general physician and getting a general response. Now you give it a role, a specialized role, and then see the response. So for example, writing about a research article, you give some area, some theme. I want to write something on this sustainability, role of AI and all. Just you write, you get some response. Now you say you are a visionary professor of computer science and engineering, having experience on data analytics and principal data scientist and NLP and blockchain, everything, whatever you want to give it, usko role de diya. And then you see the response. Keep on experimenting like this. And third, after this, how you want your outcome. Do you want paragraph? Do you want images? Do you want a PPT? Do you want PDFs? You can say, and it will help you out. Yes. What's the question? कोई कुछ पूछ रहा है? Hello. Is there any question?
No, ma'am, please continue.
Yeah, so I'll come back to the original slide. I went to describe the GPT, the transformer, and so have you got this, what I said regarding giving it a role? Why I said that's important? I tell you that certain things, for example, GPT should not do. Like, okay, let me first tell that. Then I'll start sharing. And for that, I'll switch on my camera. Yeah, so what happened that, suppose GPT should not tell you how to create atom bomb. GPT should not tell you how can one commit a suicide. Recently, someone has filed a case against GPT because a kid kept on asking questions with different reasons. And finally, he committed suicide, not in India, but somewhere in different country. So certain things GPT should not do. And for that, there are fixed rules, protocols, which are already fed to it. In a course on LangChain, you can develop a language chain of some prompts like, and then you can make it do a lot of things. And that is called Dan mode, do anything now. It's like brainwashing a student, hypnotizing him or a student or any person, and then you can ask anything and it will, without knowing what he or she is telling, he'll tell you the truth, right? So Dan mode. So once I came across that there existed Dan mode, and that is so effective that whatever you have told not to do, it will do that also, right? Because no layer, no filter works then. But that gave me the reason to believe the power of. So once I say, suppose you are IEEE level journal reviewer, now scrutinize this piece of work. And believe me, it gives me such fantastic outputs that this literature review should be like this, and this algorithm should be proved like this, the data should be refined, all that. So first part of prompt is assume you are this, this, this. Now, suppose you wanted to say you are a president of US having the capability, believe it will get that insight, that power of thinking, that vision, a lot of knowledge which a president of a country should have. It will have access to that. So first part is therefore very, very important. Any questions, any observations on this? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, बताएं.
Ma'am, my question is a healthcare data set contains symptoms and diagnose. How can transformer can be used for diagnose predictions?
Diagnostics and predictions. Yeah, health. See, again, key healthcare includes a lot of things, right? So, for example, there are doctors. Now, it's not that every doctor can treat everything, right? There are general physician who will treat the general diseases, but if there is something specific like cancer or kidney failure or anything like that, you have to go to that doctor. So likewise, whatever model we make, whatever predictions we want to make, say health prediction also, we need to train it for that data. अगर कोई कैंसर का डॉक्टर अपना एक बना रहा है एआई प्रिडिक्टर लर्नर, तो पहले कैंसर पेशेंट्स का डेटा कि उनको क्या सिम्टम्स आने लगते हैं और सिम्टम्स में अगर कब उनको कैसे ट्रीट किया जाए, कैसे प्रिवेंट करें कि ये चीजें ना हो, what are the lifestyle things which can be taken care in this case, right? So that's what needs to be done. You getting it?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
But
So,
ma'am,
हाँ पूछिए.
but ma'am, in this, for example, a hospital needs GPT to generate clinical summaries from patient records. What precautions must be taken?
एक तो पहली बात की आजकल एआई प्लैग भी आ गया है. एआई प्लैग मतलब अगर सब कुछ हम जीपीटी से निकाल के और एज इट इज कहीं भी जमा कर दें, वो यही हो गया कि सीधा हमने कट कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया. तो हमने हेल्प लेनी है, जैसे उससे पूछना है कि भाई इससे रिलेटेड क्या क्या काम हुआ था, लेकिन उस काम की समरी, उन रिसर्च पेपर्स को उठा के पढ़ना, ये तो हम इसीलिए को क्रिएशन की बात हुई कि हमने सिर्फ एक सवाल बनाया, अच्छा सा बनाया, और जो कुछ भी जवाब आया बहुत अच्छा आया, लेकिन वो हमारा तो उसमें कुछ भी नहीं है। दैट्स वाई कि हमने साथ में काम करना है। कुछ पूछा, कुछ निकल के आया, उससे सीखा, उसको यूज किया, दोबारा कुछ अप्लाई किया, प्रिडिक्ट किया, ये जरूरी है।
Okay. Thank you.
So now continuing it, can you see this slide? AI in education and learning ecosystem.
Ma'am, your slide is not visible, ma'am.
Okay, मैं अभी फिर से
जी मैम।
open with me, sure. अभी?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible now.
Sure. इसको फुल स्क्रीन कर दूं। AI in education and learning ecosystem. So many of these companies like Byju's, Vedantu, or many other Khan Academy and all, they are using a lot of AI for delivering education to, even in our institute, say Thapar Institute, we have systems like LMS, Learning Management Systems, where we put our contents on the LMS and the students can access, but that is not AI part. Here they are using, say, why I gave example of Byju's and Google for education, or for that matter, Udacity, all these platforms, because they, person to person, student to student, learner to learner, they do the analytics. So if someone has been there on a slide or a content for some minutes and then able to answer the further questions, that means he has cleared it and contents move on. But if someone has simply flipped the whole, say, 30 slides in 5 seconds, that means he has not gone through. So there are AI based methods of how much attention has been given to a particular part, and that's where the productivity of every individual learner is being tracked by these systems. So AI tutors and adaptive learning platforms are using it. It is inclusive education for accessibility. So anyone sitting somewhere in Bhatinda or some remote part of Bihar, just having an internet connection, can get the similar level of content and attention through using of these AI tools. In finance and governance also, so many apps have already, AI-based apps have already come for fraud detection, risk prediction, etc. And even in your WhatsApp now, it has Meta AI tool also. Okay. So you can have various AI-based apps like, I have many on my mobile, which I already use also, like ET Money, like Kuvera. Not that I'm advocating them, but just, yes, you can have everything. Say DigiLocker, everyone must use your documents. It's a government verified platform. Your registration of your car, your license, your Aadhaar card, and even say airports, they can't deny it. They have to accept your DigiLocker, Aadhaar, and even COVID certificate, etc. So from automation to recognition to various other, making your life easier and authentic, right? So these finance and governance applications are being used. I've already showed you a slide on disaster and emergency management, which can be done. So I'm just mentioning you some case studies, say ISRO and IIT Hyderabad had used it, they have for flood prediction model. Someone writes authorization. Is there a question?
No, no, ma'am. Just a continuation of your example. DG Yatra and the DG Doctor.
Yeah. So they are authorized. These are authorized apps. So again, similar example, we have already discussed one for crisis management. We can use AI to a great extent. In Indian context, because today in NEP also the government has rightly promoted our IKS, Indian Knowledge System. And even for PhD level, we have now a compulsory course on holistic development of researchers. And very soon we are going to have for BTech and MTech master's students also. I take meditation for them. Yes, I am a meditation trainer also. So talking about AI innovation in Indian context, our AI mission, Mighty Center of Excellences, STPI, various software technology park in India have been doing pretty well now. And there are startups which are driving AI for Bharat, like names are here, SigTuple, Drop-in, Cure AI, StackU, etc. We have academic and industry collaboration for AI research, like we at Thapar, we have from NVIDIA, and a lot of big, what should I say, deep learning models can run. The capacity is huge of these NVIDIA GPUs. Make in India, Digital India plus AI. It supports indigenous innovation. You can ask your students to write startup proposals, and maybe STPI Mohali or similar nearby places you can get the funding also. So enablers and challenges of AI-driven innovation. Enablers are, as I already said, cloud computing is right there, available. AI frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch, Python, etc. They are very easily doable, and the students find it quite easy. These are not difficult also. Right. National AI policy and the startup ecosystem is also supporting us. Yes, the challenges are data quality and privacy. Very less data. My students had been working on NLP and one for this sign language for deaf and dumb people. And we don't have much data which is available. So sometimes we have to create the right data, first train our model on this authentic data and then move on. So the road ahead is towards responsible and human-centered AI. Again, these both words are very, very powerful. Responsive AI, we can't give complete responsibility of right approach or right data to AI. It might flutter, but we need to take responsibility of validating what we are getting, right? And not leaving everything towards, because finally it is machine, sets of machine working for you. So human-centered AI, the core control should be with humans, right? They will do a lot of stuff for you, but finally validations need to be the creativity part, the questioning part, the right validation part should come from humans. And ethics, right? And that's where key morally students also sometimes you ask questions, they would get from GPT and submit the right answers. Most of the time you are not able to get, and that's where the ethics come, that yes, do not fuse with the ethics. So AI for humanity, and there's a quote regarding this. AI innovation is not about machines thinking like humans. I repeat, AI innovation is not about machines thinking like humans, but helping humans think better. right? So whenever we feel stuck, whenever we want to open the horizons, something which I have not been able to study or know, I can ask what had been done, say regarding healthcare, regarding EEG signals by other countries, say in Europe, what was the development? And it will give you. You say, no, now tell me what was in Nigeria or in US, in San Francisco specifically. So you keep on narrowing down or widening your questions. It'll give you the right information. But getting the conclusion from this or making a right hypothesis, right problem for your research remains your responsibility, right? So helping humans think better. Do not stop thinking. Do not stop creating, right? Because AI is here. It does a lot, but let it be a helper only, assistance only. Not it becomes the ruler and we do not know what has been done. So because this FTP is on sustainability, I can't stop without talking about sustainability. AI bridges the technology and societal needs. Society needs sustainability. Humanity needs sustainability now. Already a lot of damage to the planet Earth has been done. Last 50, 60 years have done such damages which were not done in centuries of existence. And therefore, we need to relook, we need to reinvent, we need to use natural resources as much as possible, do less harm as much as possible. And these remains the goal for sustainability. How can we use AI for this? How can we get to know what are the places which need topmost priority, which are the areas or sections or segments of society? And that's the challenge. And that's why it got touched my attention that this FTP, I have to speak and give my input, whatever I can. Hope you all have got something, at least some take home for from this, right? So AI, how can it help in creating different energy using recyclable aspects, sustainability? So this slide is dedicated for AI for sustainability. And maybe you can, yes, solar panels, you can see somewhere. We can use solar heaters. We can use a lot of, plant the trees, those trees which are native to the place. That's a fundamental line. No artistic tree will help, but something which is native like our neem, people, bargad, dhak, all those things. So little bit learning about our own soil, our own atmosphere, our own climate, and based on that, making our lifestyle, right? If we can do cycling, let's do that. If we can walk, let's do that. Instead of going specifically for gym, not finding time for it, make our lifestyle so that we are more healthy, we ourselves are more sustainable, and then we will develop more sustainable systems and processes and society and become a role model. So with this, I would like to stop because I think it's 7:30 and that's the timeline. Are there any questions?
Anji ma'am, good evening.
Very good evening. Tell me.
Ma'am, my name is Dr. Tejinder Kaur. I am working in medical field. You have explained about it, but my question is, how can generative AI, for example, GPT-based models support medical research and documentations?
Yeah. So in medical field, maximum, because I know many of my faculty as well as research students who are working on these problems with PGI, with many other, say, Manipal Institute. But it's as I said, there is no one quick fix solution, right? Just using GPT. They create machine learning models. Now, once we are working on a research problem where, again, I say life or millions of lives will be affected once we create a pattern, once we say that this is the prediction for this disease. And that's where comes the explainable AI. Explainable AI means finding those parameters which can explain the cause, right? Which can actually control the disease or at least make it to stop. So very simple, plain example, I'll say, for example, it is said a fat 50 female is bound to have diabetes. Normally, that's what the trend says. Most of the females who were 50 years plus in age and they were fat, mostly, not all, but yes, majority of them had diabetes. So that means being a female, not in our control. Being 50 plus, say I'm 50 plus, not in my control. If I need to control on diabetes, that means I should work on my fatness. I should reduce my weight. I should have such a lifestyle so that I'm not putting on weight. I'm not having calories more and more, right? So likewise, these predictive models first collect the data, then work on those parameters which can be controlled or should be controlled, right? So someone having chances of cancer, now what are the things which can control? If not, what can they be cured? And then how to move on. So like this, as I said, there is no quick fix solution for everything that healthcare can be taken care by GPT. No, one by one, problem by problem, we have to supply the data, make the models learn, validate from those who are in the field, those specialized doctors, and then do the predictions and preventions and prescriptions. Right? I hope that's.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Dr. Tejinder. Over to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Your session has inspired us to think innovatively and explore new possibility in integrating AI for sustainable and impactful solution. We sincerely appreciate the time, effort, and expertise you shared with us today. Thank you once again for making this FDP session high, meaningful, and engaging. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Truly my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, dear participants, kindly turn on your camera for group photographs. Kindly turn on your camera for group photographs. Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you once again, ma'am. Dear participants, we are going to start next session. I think Vinod sir has joined the session. A very good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
A very good evening, sir. So, dear participants, we are going to start this session. So now it is my honor to introduce our second respected speaker for this session on AI in precision agriculture and food security. Mr. Vinod Dull is business analyst and consultant with over 20 years of experience in project management and end-to-end IT project delivery. He has worked with leading Tier 1 and Tier 2 organizations, driving strategic initiatives and delivering complex technology solutions across multiple sectors. Throughout his career, Vinod has engaged with global teams and clients across the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and the United Kingdom. So demonstrating strong leadership across cultural collaboration and result-driven approach. Outside of his professional endeavors, he has a great interest in gardening, particularly in cultivating cacti and bonsai, and continues to explore innovative techniques in sustainable farming. So now, may I request our respected speaker to kindly take over this session. Please, sir.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Dilip. Thanks for
Thank you,
introducing everyone. Welcome everyone to the session. I will try my level best to give you as much as knowledge that I have. But yeah, feel free to raise your questions whenever you have. So we can have a question and answer session in the last 10 to 15 minutes of the overall time that is given to me. But yeah, feel free to pop in your questions. Before we start the session, I would like to know a couple of things from everyone. Let me share my screen and then probably we can take it from there. Just give me 1 second. Okay. If everyone can see on my screen, can you please switch on your mobile phones and either scan from the screen or go to slido.com and provide this number. We will have a quick short questionnaire before I go about my details. Okay. I hope everyone has access to their mobiles or their laptops or any machines they're using. Go to slido.com, put this number, or just scan this barcode. Okay. I hope everyone is ready. So let me just put a simple question on that. Feel free to provide your answers and we can see that on the screen. It is how familiar are you with the topic? I mean, using the AI specifically in the farming area. So it will just help me to understand the audience. So I'll give maybe another 1 minute, everyone. I don't see anyone providing their inputs. I'm sure this is
actually it's showing that voting closed. Not able to enter anything.
Is it? Okay. That shouldn't be the case. But
yeah, at the end of fourth option, there is a voting closed after the box.
Okay. Let me stop and start it again. Okay, seems some problem. Okay, let me check with the other question if that helps. Oh. Okay, maybe it's a blunder mistake. Something is wrong. Okay, let's go about this one. What tool you use for your day-to-day work that you think is AI based? Let's go about this. It's a free flow text. Just put anything that you have used in your day-to-day activities, which you think is an AI driven. Okay, good. ChatGPT, Grok, Gamma AI. Okay. You don't need to put your names. That's fine. Okay. So majority of people are saying it's ChatGPT that they have used on day-to-day activities, which is good. Draw AI, good. Canva, good one. Grok. Okay. That's fine. I think majority of people are saying it's ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity. Yes, so that means most of you guys have good familiarity with the AI tools which are in the market. But yes, trust me, we have a long, very, very long list which we can use. Yeah, we'll come to that in a minute when we start working on it. Good. I'll just close this now. Okay. Thanks everyone for sharing your details. So that's impressive. Okay, let me now just share on my screen what I'm going to present. Okay. I hope everyone can see it. Okay, so topic is mainly using AI in precision agriculture and food security. And why I have choose this topic is just because apart from my regular work, I'm into the IT field, which already people have described. So apart from that, this is just my another hobby or my interested area where I'd like to spend some of my time in my garden as well as with a couple of my friends, speaking to them and understanding what they are doing, what challenges they are facing, and how they are working in day-to-day life as a farmer. Right. So that's my interested area. So as part of today's session, what we'll do is we'll try to cover the different items. Okay, let me try to see if we can present it in the format. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. So as part of the agenda, what we'll try to cover is the introduction about what we are planning to cover, what exactly is AI. Yes, most of people, you already mentioned that you know about it, but yes, we'll try to cover that to a little extent. Why do we need to combine AI with farming? And then what are different type of farming concepts that we have? And that is across the globe. I tried wherever possible to use India as my groundwork. But yes, feel free. I mean, if you feel this is not happening or it is happening much more than what I thought. And then we'll try to cover how we can relate AI to different farming concepts, and then ensuring how we can use sustainability in farming, then AI technologies that can help us in precision farming, then how it can benefit for our farmers, where are the government policies, what are different government policies and programs, and then what are the different key considerations and different guardrails while applying the AI. Then I was able to pull out some case studies of AI implementations in agriculture. And then there are key challenges and what are the different opportunities that we can use. Then opportunities for the starters or the beginners. I kept this slide specifically for people, I mean, for the students, because everyone, almost most of you guys are into the education sector, and you must know that what are different opportunities for the students where they can utilize their knowledge. And then The last, it is not for frightening, but just to know by everyone that what are the good and bad uh, impacts of if we use the guardrails or if we don't use the guardrails, what could happen drastically. They can change someone's life as well. Okay, so we'll go by the first one, the introduction. I won't go each line by line, that is self-explanatory, and I will share these slides later on also so that you can have a look offline. So welcome to the session for transformative role of AI and in the precision agriculture and the food security. As we know, what promise that we make in this AI, how we can utilize that is in enhancing productivities, sustainability, and the food security. All these three concepts we try to cover as part of our ongoing sessions. And then how it is relevant to India, because India, with its vast agriculture sector, a unique poised to benefit from AI innovations, the country faces challenges such as climate variability, resources constraints, and a growing population. Where AI can help us is it can offer solutions that can drive productivity, resilience in Indian agriculture sector. And it is not for Indian agriculture, but it is throughout the world. But yes, we are trying to adapt it as much as we can for the India, right? And today we'll explore how this can help us in the agriculture, its current applications, where we are already doing it, what are the different success stories for that, what are the future trends going on, and how the innovation can help us to mitigate these challenges and get more and more opportunities in integrating AI into our farming practices, right? So let's start the next one. So what exactly is AI? So AI, it is just an artificial intelligence. For example, the intelligence says how a human intelligence work is. It is based on their experience, based on their education, based on their previous experiences, based on different parameters, based on their surroundings, based on a number of different parameters. You decide, you take a decision. For example, if you are driving a car, like what different decisions you will take. You will, whatever you have learned how to drive, whatever you have learned other people are doing on the road, so that you can avoid it, right? So based on that, that's your human intelligence. But if we try to replicate the same thing artificially by the machines or through using the systems, that is called artificial intelligence. Right? So as part of the artificial intelligence, there are four main core components of this. What is machine learning? The machine learning, and there are the data behind it, and then natural language processing, we call it as NLPs. We try to understand these AI chatbots or AI systems, they understand human language, which is much easier to communicate. Then we have the computer visions, interpreting images, videos. We take an image. I will go through different examples in the forthcoming slides. So yes, we can use those things. Then robotics, physical automation powered by AI. When I say robotics, etc., that means we're talking about different robots helping us for achieving our day-to-day activities, right? Other key capabilities, what it can provide is perceptions, predictions, problem solving, adaptation, how it can help us. In the everyday examples, we have almost everyone must have heard about these names or these different terminologies, like how we are using in everyday AI, which some people know it already, others, if you don't know. For example, the voice assistants like Amazon Alexa, most of people are using it. Some of you might have at your home. You ask a question, it answers you based on what you have asked. And in the background, it is using all the different algorithms. It is using a machine learning language. It is using the NLPs to process the data and everything. Then you have Google Assistants, you have Apple Siri, which works in the Apple phones. Then you have MS Cortana. You must have seen this MS Cortana in your Windows machine. Whenever you start your machine, there is a search bar where MS Cortana uses its intelligent algorithms to search, right? And then you have Samsung Bixby, which is used in most of the Samsung devices for the AI work. Then another examples included autonomous vehicles, like For example, the Tesla, you must know the Tesla car, I mean, it is using AI to run its own. It can have lot many functionalities, right? Then you have Neuro, Zoox, Baidu, Apollo. These are different tools which are used by different vehicles to use the AI in the background. Others, I think most of people has already mentioned that, you know about this, Chat GPTs, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, Perplexity, we are using in our day-to-day life just to ask the questions, get the relevant answers. And these are, I won't say these are 100% correct. These are next to correct, and these are near to correct information that they can provide. So that means in the background, they have a vast majority of data which they use to drive different decisions, right? And why it matters is it drives efficient innovation, decision making across industries, including agriculture. Yes, our focus is, of course, agriculture today, but yes, it doesn't stop us to use it in different, many other places, right? Then we'll move on to why do we need to combine AI with farming as part of our subject. It is just because rising food demand, there is global population growth who requires food, right? The population is, at the minute, it's more than 7 billion on Earth. That means every day it is increased, but we have on the other side very limited spaces. We can't increase our land space, so that is limited. Whatever land we have near to the cities, that is getting converted into residential land. So that means day by day we are facing that challenge. The land is decreasing, but at the same time the population is increasing. That means we need more food for more people, right? So that means we need to find out some kind of solutions or some kind of things that can help us to grow more within the same land or with the less land rather, right? Then we have climate challenges. AI definitely help us predict weather patterns, mitigate the crop risk. Climate, everyone must have seen that every other year we are facing either it is a drought kind of situation, or in other cases when it is monsoon, that means there are much more rain than we expect or than we required. That means we need to adapt our farming as per those climate challenges. If we can predict in advance, yes, I know there are some limitations in the systems as well. We can't predict for next year or so, but yes, the near to accurate information for next 10 days, 15 days, or month or 2 months, yes, that can be predicted. So we have those kind of systems in place. Then resource optimization. Why do we need this? Again, because as I said, sometimes it is a drought kind of situation. That means we need to see how precisely we can use our water resources. If we need 100 liters, for example, I'm just giving an example. Don't take these words like in the actual scenarios, but if we need 100 liter of water for 1 acre of land, that means we should be precise enough that it uses, our system uses either 105 or 95 liters. It shouldn't happen that it is using 150 liters of water. That means it can result into the increased cost. It can result into the scarcity of water resources as well. So those are just examples. At the same time, the pesticides reduce waste and the cost. Using the precision pesticide usage, that can also help us to make the better crops, as well as to make it better precisely wherever the situation, wherever the things are wrong, there only we need to use these pesticides, right? The other usage, why do we need to use this? Early detection of issues. We know that if we know in advance that there is gonna be a problem with our crops, we take the right set of measurements, right set of early detections. That means we know what need to be done, so that before it spreads throughout the acres of lands, we can make control on this. Then we have improved decision making. We need quick decisions, which AI obviously can help us. If we as a human try to use that, it might take a couple of hours, days, or maybe months or weeks. But at the same time, if we use the systems, if we give this task to the systems, that can definitely help us in the predictive analysis of sowing, harvesting, market trends. We know how we can, for example, if I take an example of market trends, every other year we see that there are prices increasing for onions or for potatoes or sometimes tomatoes, right? And that is just because we do not have the right market trends with us. One year, if the prices are going up, every other person, they try to go about it. Okay, maybe next year prices will grow again. So we need to go for the tomato crop. But next year, if lot many people are doing the same thing, that means the prices are going to go down, right? So if we have the right set of data, if we have the market trends with us, we can easily analyze, or we can comparatively better analyze it, that okay, maybe this tomato growth will not be that much, rather I should focus on some other crops, right? Those are just examples. And then the supply chain transparencies, with the help of AI plus blockchain, we can ensure the traceability of every food item that is delivered from farm to the consumer plates. So we can trace that. That also help us in the food safety. Farmer empowerment, then AI advisory tools in local languages, because there are today also there are different tools even supported by the local governments. There are tools which the farmers can use in their local native languages, that gives them enough information that they don't need to be dependent on anybody else, and they can make their own decisions. They can simply ask the question, and the automated boards or the systems provide that information to the farmers, so that they can better utilize it, right? So we'll move on to the next slide. Types of different farming concepts. The last slide we learned why do we need AI in the farming. Now we'll discuss about different type of farming concepts. Of course, I have divided into, based on different parameters, you can divide into different concepts. But traditionally, I divided into 3 parts. Traditional farming concepts, which are being used for so long, for hundreds of years from now. Then modern farming concepts, these are also in place for last couple of years, I would say more than 20, 30 or 40 years, right? Then the third part is emerging with the tech-driven concepts, where we are using 100% tech-driven farming, which is still being used at many places. It is emerging day by day. So the traditional farming concept, we use it like subsistence farming, which is mainly for the small scale or family consumption, or they are using very minimal technologies, because these are small farmers. They don't have sufficient funds sometimes. Other times, if they want to arrange for the funds, it is not feasibly viable to use these. For example, if you have 1 acre or 2 acres of land, you won't be spending much money on a tractor, right? And then if on the other side, if you have just 1 or 2 acres of land, that means you will try to use those crops which can be accommodated in that land. So yes, these are the different concepts. These are some of the mitigations, some of the challenges, as well as on the other side, there are bright sides as well. Commercial farming is a large scale market oriented mechanizations, high input use. You have more than 10, 20 acres of land. You use different concepts, you use the tractors, you use the irrigation systems and all that. So that again comes in the traditional farming concepts. Modern concepts, yes, organic farming. This refers to chemical-free, sustainable practice and growing it as per the demand, as per the global demand, right? So organic farming, that means you use very few chemicals, or almost next to nil chemicals, so that it doesn't impact the environment, it doesn't impact individuals' health, right? Vertical farming, use indoor multi-layer farming using hydroponics or aquaponics. Hydroponics, I did a very good course on that as well. So the hydroponics, this is a concept which is called as soil-less farming as well. You have a you can start with a very small setup as well. From a room as well, right? And why this is called vertical farming? Because from 1 acre of land, you can have a yield of more than 4 or 5 acres of land, because it goes in the vertical positions, right? You have the layer of different farming. As I said, I mean, from 1 acre, you can have more than 4 or 5 or 10 acres even worth of yield. Then we have aeroponics. This is another concept where it is using, instead of hydroponics, like instead of using directly dipping your plants into the water, it used mist, right? It again using the water, and the other benefit you get out of it is that it uses almost less than 10 to 15%. If you're using 100 liters of water for your regular traditional farming, you can use only 10 to 15 liters of water for hydroponics or aeroponics, right? Then you have protected cultivations. This is again, I mean, it's getting momentum now. When you say protected cultivation, that means it is greenhouses, polyhouses for controlled environment farming. We know every crop has its own mechanism, its own climate conditions. We can provide those climate conditions if we control it in the greenhouse or in the polyhouses. We can control it very easily. So we give the optimal situations, optimal conditions, so that we get what we want out of these by applying these concepts, right? And we come into the latest technologies, which is happening right now also, and which is emerging. It is day by day we are looking at new concepts coming into the market. We are looking at different concepts that help us to grow more, right? One of that is precision farming. And you see the precision farming, what do we mean by that is, this is using AI and IoT sensors, right? If you have sensors, if I put it on my soil, I can easily get to know what is the pH level, what is the nutrients that are in my soil, so that based on that, my crop health conditions and everything, I can decide, or the system can help me to decide which is the best crop that I should go for, which is the best crop that can give me good yields based on my soil type, right? The smart farming, integration of AI, drones, robotics, big data analytics, drones, you know, some of people, I mean, some in some states or some part of India already we are using AI drones for the pest controls. But yes, it can go further. There are lot many other use cases also where we can use this. Climate smart agriculture, practice to adapt and mitigate climate changes impacts. We know that the climate, we talked about this earlier also, there are many things that we can help if we know in advance that, okay, this is going to be climate impact. And that again depends upon different parts of the country. Like if you go to the like northern part of India, you will find a different climate. If you go to the southern part of India, you will find different climate. Urban farming, this is mainly, till now, this has not been yet, I mean, in much practice for the commercial farming, but yes, this is for the hobbyists. Like people have their rooftop gardens, they do the container farming in cities. It helps in lot many ways. One is, of course, they know what they are sowing, what they are reaping out of it. They know that they are using minimum or next to nil pesticides, and they know what they are eating. So yes, there are many examples. You'll find it on the YouTube or different channels, that how people are using these container farming, right? Regenerative agriculture, soil health restoration. This is again tied up with the other things. Like when I say there are different tools which tells you your pH level of your soil, it tells you the nutrient levels in the soil. That means if you know that this soil is not particularly viable for particular crop, you can change it. You can put those missing nutrients in that soil and make it worthy, right? So these are the different type of farming concepts that are in practice. Some are more than the others. Now, how we can relate AI into different farming concepts? In the traditional, I think a couple of things might be repeating, but yeah, I will quickly go through this slide. AI can definitely provide you basic advisory services like chatbots in the local language. In the traditional farming, we know that when we talk about the traditional farming, that means we are talking about those farmers who has not yet implemented into the modern farming. They are trying to use it, but due to a number of different factors, they are currently not implementing it. And one of the reason might be cost, other reason might be the feasibility or different availability of the resources. So just an example on this one, how they can use it or how best we can help them to the traditional farmers with small or big land. I will take both the examples. One example is if a farmer is having only 1 to 2 acres of land, so I expect that he or she may have just a small non-smart device, mobile devices, and the expectation or the assumption is that almost every part of the world now, everyone has a mobile, right? So whether it is a smart mobile or not, we'll take both the cases. If it is a non-smart device, that means it is just a dumb device which can be used only for sending the text messages or just have a voice call mechanism, right? For example, the Nokia 3310, everyone must have used in their life, right? If you are from that generation. So others, if you have not used it, find it on Google and you will know what Nokia 3310 device is. So if we just make a call, that call might go, I'm just giving a scenario where we can help the farmers, right? So if you call from a non-smart device, you make a call and discuss it as like you are discussing with a human being. In the background, you can talk to a chatbot system. That system will try to understand your questions, the farmer's question. Farmers, let's say he is facing an issue with the crop with some kind of bugs, right? It can be white mildew or black spots, something like that, right? Now the farmer needs some help. What best he can do is he can just talk to that device, and the device will, in the background, based on different parameters, it will go to the right sites. I won't say it will go to the entire website, entire internet, and try to search something which we usually through Google. No, that's not the case here. These chatbots are designed that they can use the specific data from specific sites, which can have the proper or the valid information. It is not giving some wrong info. It tries not to give some wrong information. It has the data sets available, right? So the system in the background, it goes to its valid data set and try to search what could be the best solution for this problem, and accordingly give this information to the farmer. And also, because even in these devices, we can check the regional, we can check the geolocations, right? Using those geolocations, we can suggest the farmer that, yes, okay, this is the pesticide that you should use, and these are the available resources in your local vicinity, maybe in the radius of 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers or 20, whatever it is, right? So you can go to this shop or you can go to this particular person, you can get help from them. At the same time, if they don't trust too much on the system, we can also transfer these calls to the human beings, right? They are the experts, they know what need to be done, so that they can freely integrate with them and they can discuss with them. So one of the example is Kisan e-Mitra, which answers your queries for small farmers. Now, let's take another example, which I have not mentioned on this website, but that's for the big farmers who have, again, 10, 20 acres of land. They also want to use the AI. They also want to get some help. For them, this is the second use case scenario where the farmer has a intelligent device or the smart device. For example, they have a phone with a camera, right? They have a phone with the 4G or 5G connections, which they can use. The farmer simply take a picture, upload it on a website, right? Or on that app. Then the app analyze based on that particular crop, what that crop is. And with a number of different parameters and the algorithms, it can suggest you, okay, this crop need attention. For example, you need to use more water, right? For example, you need to put this particular pesticide to make it to fix the problem, or you need to use a number of other things just so that you can get the maximum yield out of it. Then in the modern farming, if we use AI, precision farming, discussed earlier, organic farming, yes, it can help you monitor the soil health, detect pests without chemicals, how we can use that. For the precision farming, Fussell's AI-driven integration, irrigation saving billions of liters of water. So we have very, very good use cases on that, where we used billions of liters of water by using precision farming. Vertical farming, hydroponics, yes, we discuss about this concept. In those kind of scenarios also, how we can use the AI, we can control the lighting, right? So we can mimic the same kind of environment, the weather conditions that particular plant or that particular crop needs. That means we are helping them with the controlling the lighting or the nutrient levels or the temperatures for their optimal growth. For this one, we have different systems which are in place. They in the background, all these systems, most of these systems are using the AI algorithms. And in the tech-driven farming, where we know that these are very, very big scale farmers or big scale companies who want to use this, they have very, very good set of these models and they are absolutely 100% using it. But the only caveat or only challenge in that is about the cost. Till now, I read a lot about it and find out that most of the companies are not in yet profit. They haven't reached to their ROI. But yes, because they don't want to stop the overall innovation, so they are still putting more and more money. They are using AI models to predict soil restoration progress, satellite-based soil health monitoring. They combine the AI, robotics, and the big data for an end-to-end automation. That means from a seed to germinate, to make it a good, healthy crop, and then selling it to the market, bringing it to the table to the end users so they can use it, right? So in that kind of scenarios, I mean, they are using these farming techniques. The whole concept of the agenda was to ensuring sustainability in the farming, right? So how we can make sure that we have enough sustainability, whatever we use, so that we do not derail from the ecosystem and we try to have a good ecosystem, overall system that people can use it, right? The very first thing, health of the soil, how we can do that. There are different mechanisms. We use crop rotations, cover the crops, organic amendments to maintain the fertility. When we say crop rotations, that means everyone know that we always use, for example, in your land, if you try to put every other year, if you try to put the sugarcane or potatoes or tomatoes or onions, that means you are using those particular nutrients from the soil which are meant for that particular crop. If you keep on using it, that means there would be a deficiency of that in the soil. Yes, you can cover it to some extent, but the other methods, instead of putting different nutrients into the soil which are chemical related, you can use different crops. So for example, in one year you can put onions, other years you can put tomatoes or maybe tomatoes, etc. Right? These are the examples which already farmers are using and we can make it better. Water conservation, how we can sustainably do it in farming. That means instead of just switching a button and putting all the water, whatever we have, through the pumps to the farms, let's use drip irrigation systems. We should use rainwater harvesting and then AI-driven irrigation scheduling systems. That in the traditional days, I have seen that yes, if we need to put the water in the farm, that means we simply go to the farm, switch on the button, and a pump switched on, it puts the water onto our farm, onto the land. But yes, nowadays, most of these things are automated. You don't need to go to your farm in the morning at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, right? Based on the weather conditions, based on different many other parameters, the system can analyze it. How much water do we need, and when should I switch it on, when I should switch it off, and all that. So those kind of things we can use. So that one is we use only precisely how much water that the plant need, how much water is needed. On the other side, it also saves the cost. Then reducing chemical dependencies. Yes, if we try to use as much as precision for application of different fertilizers in our land, that means we are reducing chemical dependencies as well. Uses of energy use. Yes, in the current scenario, if we say that most of the energy is coming from the grids, in the background, whether they are using coal or some other methods or green methods, we don't know. But if we want to put that, yes, we can use the solar powered pumps, energy efficient farm equipment. There are n number of options in the market available which can be used. Waste reduction, recycling, composting, crop residues, using bio-based packaging. These are the different parameters that we can use, different things that we can use. For example, we must have seen almost every other year that we are just, yes, that might be the easiest method that the farmers use. They simply use a crop, cut the, for example, they cut these grains or the crops, and then they simply put a tractor on it. That means everything is automatically get into the soil. But as there could be other methods as well, which we need to find out and see how we can compost it. Digital AI solutions, the more we use it, more precisely we use these digital solutions that can help us for different terms like cost as well as precision. Education is the other factor that we can take in. Like we need to educate the small farmers or almost every other farmer. We can educate them and we can include them in the discussions. We can make them a part of different forums where they can learn. Okay, if for the last 10 or 20 years the farmer is just growing one crop and he's stuck into that okay, he's not making enough profits, right? But end of the day, everyone need the profits, everyone need sustainability. So we can educate them what other crops are available to them in the market and how they can utilize that, right? The next, how the different technologies that can help in precision farming. Computer visions, drones, as we mentioned earlier also, we can have the drones with the cameras. If we know that, okay, in my farming field, there is a problem, we don't know what that exact problem is. If, for example, if the leaves are getting yellowed, right? Maybe it's a scarcity of water, it's a less water or more water, how much water that plant need, or maybe it's just a bug, which we don't know, right? So we can take a pictures, we can use these drones and precisely see out of maybe 10 acres of land, the problem is if it is half acres of land, that means precisely we need to target that area and the disease, it doesn't get replicated to the other part of the field, and we can easily detect it and can take some corrective actions on that. Then the same thing can be for the nutrient deficiencies. Maybe one part of the field is having less nutrient than other, so we need to use the nutrients in that particular area itself. Then AI plus IoT sensors network. We have lot many sensors nowadays. They can collect your soil moisture levels, the temperatures, pH level of it, crop health data, how the overall crop is doing, what is the pH level of the soil. So we can use all these AI and sensors to predict how we can use this in our best way, like in the irrigation as well as fertilization schedules, when the plants need that fertilization or when these plants need the irrigation system or the water. So accordingly, we can provide that. Examples, Fasal, This is another app. I think it is provided by the government of India. It uses AI-driven irrigation systems, saving more than 3 billion liters of water. It looks very small quantity in terms of the geography, but yes, it's a very, very good amount of savings. Can reduce water by 30%, fertilizers by 20%. Even if we save it by 30%, that means it's a very, very, very big and good savings in terms of the cost, efforts, and many other factors. Predictive analysis can be done through the AIs using the AI mechanisms. We have the models which can predict yield, weather patterns, and pest outbreaks. Like, for example, the almost 2-3 years back, there was a outbreak. I can speak in the Hindi like TD Dal. So that was a kind of an outbreak. So the government needed to take some action. Farmers needed to take some actions how they can best utilize it. If the same thing happen in future, AI can predict us in much in advance so that we can have some corrective actions. It may be in days, it may be in hours, or it may be in months or so. That again will depend upon a number of different parameters that we can play with. Autonomous machinery, how it works, AI-powered tractors, sprayers operate with minimal human interventions. There is a John Deere's see and spray mechanism which is used in the tractors. It reduces herbicides used by targeting weeds very precisely, and it's a very, very effective tool that they are using. It cuts the chemical cost as well as improves sustainability. Advisory platforms, there are different chatbots or voice assistants which provide you real-time advice in the local languages, and these are available in more than 20 plus languages in India. And the best example for that is Kisan eMitra, which answers farmers' queries very, very quickly in an efficient manner, and it has shown very, very good results. Democratize access to expert knowledge of smallholders, and in the background, it uses a big chunk of data, which is valid data and provided by the authenticated sources. It doesn't go directly onto the website and check it, but yeah, in the background, they have good data sources for that. So we are already in the middle of the slides. Does anyone has any question till now? Or should we go ahead and finish it, and then in the last, we will take these questions?
Hello.
It taking silence as golden.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, go on. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, we see agriculture today, but agriculture in the olden days was good, but today's agriculture has not improved, even with modern technology. What is the reason, and what are the biggest challenge facing farmer India today, and how does AI help overcome challenging related to population growth and food demand?
Okay, so Dr. Tejinder, I think maybe, I don't know from where did you get the data, but as per my knowledge or as per my research that I have done, there is a very, very drastic difference what we were growing earlier. The yield, when I say, for example, if you go back 20 years back, that means in 1 acre of land, you must be having, like, for example, maybe 1 ton of crop, but using different methods, using all these methods that we discuss in this slide, you can upgrade to that yield and make it more than twice or thrice. So if the population is growing, yes, that is a challenge, but we need to overcome that challenge by combining the farming techniques, imply more and more good technical capabilities into the farming. So that will help us a lot. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? If not, we should move on to the next one. Okay. Right. Let's move on to the next one. Benefits, how the farmers get benefited out of it. They get increased productivity. If we use the AI-driven crop monitoring and predictive analysis, this can help the farmers achieve their higher yields, which is already in place. And there are some good use case studies available on the net. You can find it out on Google or somewhere, or even you can use chatbot to give you some good insights into that. Cost reduction, precision application of water, fertilizer, pesticides reduce input cost by 20 to 30%. And trust me, when we say 20 to 30% of saving, cost reduction, that means it's ultimately is increase in your profit. You must have seen if the grain that you were getting, for example, let's take an example of maybe one thing like the grain. If you're getting it earlier, 20 years back, it was 500 rupees per kg. Now, if you are spending more than 1,000 rupees per kg, right, or not per kg, or maybe per quintal, right, and you save your cost by 20 to 30%, that means it's a big profit to the farmers. Then resource efficiency, of course, if small irrigation systems powered by AI saves up to 30% of water, again, that is used in terms of the cost as well as drought prone region. If you go to the, I think I'm forgetting the name, in Maharashtra, there is a particular village where we see almost every year it is water scarcity. These are drought prone areas. If we use the AI, we can use the smart irrigation systems that can help us to achieve or save more than 30% water. The same water can be used by the other farmers in that area. Risk mitigations, AI forecast weather patterns. We can use forecast the weather patterns using AIs. We can forecast pest outbreaks, market trends. In this way, we can help the farmers to avoid any crop losses that we already see almost every year. Yes, I'm not saying the things will shape up or things will be improving in just in months or years, in 1 year. Yes, it's going to take some time, but yes, slowly we are going towards that goal. Better market access, AI-powered platforms connect farmers directly to the buyers. Again, some of the platforms already we must have seen in India, where the farmers can directly sell their crops onto those platforms and they can get good prices, as well as removing the middlemen who are getting just their commissions to make these products available in the market. Sustainability, I think we had a good discussion in the last slide about sustainability. I will go that too again. It makes this environment friendly farming, which is good. Real-time advisory, this one again, I think we discussed about it. We have the AI chatbots, voice assistants, things that we can provide instant guidance in the local languages, which is available in more than 20 plus languages at the minute. And there are both kind of scenarios. It can be provided by the government as well as it can be provided by the private sector people also. Both has its pros and cons. Of course, if it is provided by the government, it is funded properly, and there are cost implications that are borne by the government. At the same time, if it is done by some private entity, that means they will look at the profits as well. So in that case, we can say, take some examples of, like, for example, people think that Facebook is free. It is not free. You are the product for them. So if a local body or local company or some private company develop these kind of different algorithms, different chatbots or something, they are going to get the profit out of somewhere. Either they will charge the farmers, which will maybe very little amount, or they can charge the providers for the solutions. If you provide a solution to a query for the farmer, for example, if they need to use some pesticides, so they can, the chatbot can recommend the local or nearest distributor or the local shopkeeper, and accordingly in the background they might have some kind of benefits coming to them in terms of money or different other terms. Yes, government policies and programs, we won't spend too much of time on this, but yeah, these are, I was able to get this information from different websites. It is not available at one place, but yeah, India AI mission, these are the different policies and programs funded by the government, National AI Strategy by the Niti Aayog. They promote the AI adoption in agriculture for precision farming, and the benefits they currently have increased productivity, reduced input cost. So almost everything you will see in this, what is the program, what was the objective of it, technologies. If you notice, almost every other technology, every other space, they are using AI in some form or other. And the common benefits everyone is getting is like improving the crop health, real-time crop monitoring, reducing input cost, as well as increasing farmers' income and developing them and making them workforce ready. Right. So these are different policies and programs which you can refer later on as well. Now I focus on this key considerations and the guardrails. What are these considerations? What are the guardrails? So the considerations, of course, when we implement AI into our farming concepts, that means we need to consider these different topics: data privacy and security. I know people might think that there is not much data, there is no much privacy. Trust me, it may not be in the current scenario or it may not be currently available, but tomorrow it is becoming the most important and integral part of all the AI systems. Because we'll refer, later on in the upcoming slides, how we have good and bad examples of AI implementation. And that very, very well gel with this slide, what we need to consider and what are the guardrails. Bias and fairness. AI modules must avoid bias in crop recommendation or credit scoring, just because, as I gave example in the last slide, if it is done by some private sector people, that means their biased information can ruin the things. They may or may not recommend a product that will sort out the issue, right? Because they need to gain some profit out of it. That is refers to the bias and fairness. Whomsoever is doing this, whomsoever is developing these kind of chatbots or AI applications, that means they need to consider these points. Otherwise, there could be some implications due to this. Infra readiness, we need to consider this point also: reliable internet connection, IoT devices, and power supply in the rural areas, and availability of all these resources so that we can tap in the best way whatever we are doing for the good of farmers. Their training, adoption, yes, we can make them aware. We can provide them with some training with the AI tools. We can provide that online or offline or through different other mechanisms that are available. Cost, accessibility, affordable solution for small and marginal farmers also. These are, I would say, yes, many farmers have in India. There majority of farmers, I would say, they have availability of resources, but it again, the more available resources are there, more cost involved. So we need to make it very, very cost effective so that every other farmer can afford this and they can get help out of it. Interoperability, yes, we have some existing government systems or platforms or databases where we have mass amount of data which we can use for predictive analysis. Yes, these systems, whomsoever is developing that, these AI chatbots or any AI related solutions, they need to have these interoperability between these systems. We need to consider the environment impacts also. We need to ensure that any farming promotes sustainability and resource efficiency. If we don't do that, that means we will be in the same situation again. If we are not saving on the water usage, if we are not using on the good soil health, that means it's of no use for the common farmers. Guardrails. What are the guardrails? These are the different mechanisms which we need to define whenever we want to develop any AI related application, whether it is a chatbot or something, right? We need to put these guardrails in place. If we don't do that, there could be definitely bigger consequences of that. Very first thing, regulatory compliance. Someone in the government or in the right authority need to define these regulatory compliances. In the current scenario, there is a Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which is available, and different agriculture policies. People who are developing AI solutions, they need to adhere to these regulatory compliances. The next guardrail is ethical AI principles. You need to be always transparent. Explainability, when I say explainability, the systems need to be able to explain it to the end user that yes, if they are recommending something, why they are doing it and what are the benefits of it. Accountability, yes, if they are providing us some kind of decisions, they need to take the accountability. And trust me, more than 90% cases, more than 95% cases, yes, the systems might give you very, very good results, but even in 5%, you or the end user need to put their own mind, need to analyze it, whether the information provided is still valid or right or not, right? So that refers to the transparency, explainability, and accountability. Human in the loop, of course, we need to keep farmers and experts involved in critical decisions, not fully automated. As mentioned, yes, if we keep on relying 100% on the systems or the technology, we are not gonna win the race. We need to put the human in the center of the loop. That yes, whatever we do, we should have a team of experts who can have their opinion also, who can validate or provide some quality controls so that this is the information which is going to the end users is near to accurate, if not 100%. Quality assurance, yes, we need to validate all these AI models with real world trials before large scale deployments. Yes, this is a thumb of rule. Always, we never ever do 100% mass production for anything which we have not tested. So testing is the key of it. Whatever you do, whether you develop an application or whether you develop some kind of solution for the farmers or for anybody, I would say, not only for the farmers, you need to validate these models thoroughly so that you don't give the wrong data or the wrong predictions to anyone. Cyber security measures protect these IoT devices and AI platform from hacking or misuse. Recently, people must have seen some of the news where I can just share one of the examples which happened in UK. Someone was using a camera. It is not related to farming, rather, right? He was using a Wi-Fi enabled camera. Suddenly, he made some settings that the private information cannot be shared anyone, and it stopped working. Then he analyzed it. He was a technical expert. He just opened the camera, look into the code of this ROM, read-only memory, which is embedded into these different devices in IoT devices. He looked into that, he read the code, and there was a small encrypted method which was written, and it says all the data will be exposed to that company who has developed this camera. So that was a security breach, right? So that means the moment that person make it that the information cannot be shared, it stopped working, right? Which is not ethical, which is not right, which is not transparent, right? So that person, he made the changes in that read-only memory of that system, of that camera, and suddenly it started working. So the only thing he made change was just making it private rather than public. So that's just an example, which it's a real scenario which happened recently. Monitors auditing, continuous evaluation of AI systems for accuracy and fairness. Yes, you need to monitor it always. You need to see, you need to audit whatever has been done, whether this is correct or fair or not. Disaster recovery plans. Yes, this is another guardrail. You must have always a backup system for data and options and operations during outage or failures. If the systems are not working, you should not be 100% dependent on the technology. You should have some kind of backup plan. If the technology doesn't work, due to n number of reasons. It may be due to the power cuts, or it may be due to the weather conditions. It may be due to some natural calamity. If the systems are not working, you should be able to have some kind of backup system. It may be another app, or it may be another system, backup system that you want to use. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Some of the case studies where AI implementation in agriculture. These are the project names, technology used, impact, benefits. For example, in Telangana, there is a Sagbagu app, which was developed using AI-driven advisories, IoT, data analytics. They scaled from 7,000 to 500,000. Sorry, my language, I use 500,000. This is 5 lakhs. So in UK, we use 500,000 rather than lakhs. So farmers, their income got doubled, and the benefit they get was improved crop yield, reduced pest losses, and all that. Then in Maharashtra, they have a Baramati experience where they use the technology AI-based crop monitoring, predictive analysis. Sugarcane yield went up by 30 to 40%. Farming cost was reduced to more than 30%. It was using the precision farming and cost efficiency. Then there another project, IBM plus Government of India. Then you have PMFPY using AI models. Then you have Cropin and Fussel. These are the startups using AI algorithms with IoT sensors, weather data, and everything. Then you have Maha Agri Tech in Maharashtra, which is GeoICT AI dashboards, multi-language interfaces, which can help you for better decision making and reduce input cost. And it uses satellite-based crop health tracking systems. Drone Didi project. This is again in Telangana. This is an AI-enabled drone for spraying and monitoring. It collaborates with DRDO and AIMS for precision pest controls. It is a very, very good project, which I have seen. There are some information you will find on Google or ChatGPT. Check about it. You don't want to go into the details, but yes, it's a very good project. It promotes precision agriculture and pest management. Pest usage was less than half if they use by this one. Key challenges, opportunities. We are just coming to the end of the slides soon. Key challenges, data quality, availability. Yes, fragmented land records. This is the biggest challenge, I think, in the current scenario, especially in India. We have the land records, but it is all fragmented. In some states, this is all computerized. In other states, it is still in progress. And when I say the state, that means it is on the individual district or tehsil level as well. If you don't have the right land records or inconsistent crop data, it makes the AI training difficult. And AI models, trust me, these are all based on the data. If you don't have the right data, that means you are liable to get some unfair data out of it, which may not be correct. Infrastructure gaps, you have limited internet connectivity. I won't say this is too much of a problem at this minute, but yes, still there are some remote areas where we have very limited connections. I won't say it is zero, but yes, we have limited internet connectivity, but it is, trust me, it's very, maybe less than 5 or 10% only throughout India. And that happens in UK as well, just for your knowledge. There are some areas where we don't get any signals. So it is, this problem doesn't apply to one part of the world, it is throughout the world. High initial cost, I think this is the biggest challenge. AI solutions, sensors, drones, these are very expensive for the small farmers. If a farmer has less than 5 acres of land, most of the majority of the cases, it is really not cost effective for them. But government has providing many subsidies if they want to use that. Yes, we can mitigate that challenge to some extent. Skill and awareness deficit. Farmers need training to adopt these AI tools effectively, so they can get this knowledge online as well as offline. So there are some government initiatives that help the farmers to learn about these tools and how to use these tools. Regulatory ethical concerns, data privacy, yes, it's on the top. It must be on the top, I would say, but yes, it again depends to the geographical areas. Biased in AI models, lack of clear guidance, biased only and only arise in the AI models if you do not have the right set of data or you are not connecting to the right set of data. Language localization. A system must support multiple Indian languages, especially this is in case of India. Yes, it is in other part of the world as well, but especially in India because we have hundreds of languages, the local regional languages, where we need to see, okay, if the interpretation is not happening correctly, that means your AI solution may not work correctly. Climate variability, again, unpredictable weather patterns challenge AI predictions. This is a very good initiatives are being taken on this front, but yes, still we face a lot many things which are in the weather production predictions. Opportunities, these are again tied up with these challenges. Precision farming, we talked about that. Yield prediction, risk management, better planning to crop insurance through predictive analysis. Lot many insurance companies nowadays, they are using these different methods to mitigate the risk. Market linkage, a driven platform connects farmer directly to the buyers, improving their income. These are the different opportunities where some of the work is already being done by different organizations. Other are the different options where new startups can pitch in. Climate resilience helps adapt farming practice to changing weather conditions, which is suitable to their local regional places. Like something can be good in the southern part of India, other things can be good for the northern part of India or southern or western part of India. Government support, yes, there are a lot many initiatives which are going on, like India AI Mission and Digital Agriculture Mission. These provide funding as well as infra if you want to grow in that space, if you want to make some more investments or in your farming area with the AI. Agri-tech startup growth. This also has been, there has been a very good growth in the recent years. There are a lot many startup companies which are using AI-based solutions to attract the investments and creating the rural jobs as well. So that's another part of it, like opportunity. If people want to stay in their local regions, yes, there are lot many options available with the startups. Export competitiveness, AI-driven quality controls, traceability boost global market access. Of course, if the quality control is managed and there is a traceability, when we say traceability, that means just again, another example, when I go to UK market, I buy something, just looking at their barcode, we can trace it, what was the origin of that particular item, right? So that if something is bad, we always get some kind of initiative, some kind of information that, okay, you bought this particular item from this mall, and if there is an issue, we are communicated, we can easily accommodate that, and we can say that yes, we need to either return it or get the refunds. Okay, opportunities for beginners, upskilling and the unskilled workforce, we can do that. Global volunteering program, there are some programs available where if someone is interested, you can roam around the world free of cost. There are some initiatives, you apply for that. If they have the opportunities, you can go to any part of the world. The only thing you need to know is you need to make your hands dirty, you need to know something about the farming, and they can give you the opportunities to go there, stay there, learn the new technologies, or help the local farmers to get the things done. Multi-language learning apps, there are a number of apps available which you can use for supporting your AI solutions with the multi-language. Regular seminars, hackathons, this is already happening, and this is again part of this seminar as well, because in this seminar I have seen like many other topics are also being discussed, so that is happening. Retaining youth in the agriculture actions, yes, we need to encourage educated youth to stay in the rural area and apply tech for better yields, so that we can stop them to move just for the sake of money or just for the sake of getting more and more opportunities. If we give or provide opportunities to their local places, it's nothing like it. Any additional opportunities like AI internship programs run by different companies, community AI labs, digital literacy drives, freelancing, agri-tech services and all that. These are different opportunities where the starters or the beginners can get some help. Now, this is the last slide. After that, we'll just start the question and answers. The font size is very small, if you see it or not. Agriculture, Blue River technology. Some of the good examples. This is a really, really very good example used by, I think I used it in one of my other slide as well. It's by the John Deere AI-powered CN spray system for precision weed controls in the farms. This is a very good example of it. Healthcare, DeepMind's eye disease detection. So if there is a problem in the eyes, it can detect it to very, very early stages so that you can take some preventive actions. Amazon recommendation engine, everyone knows it. You find something on Google or you go to Amazon, find out something. If you want to purchase something, it can recommend you different items for that. In the transportation area, Waymo, autonomous vehicles, it is AI for self-driving cars. It is being used in China, US, and lot many other parts of the world. Fraud detection systems in the finance, AI models are really, really helping a lot in the finance sector. They can easily predict who is going to be our defaulter, right? So these are some good examples. At the same time, I won't frighten you, but there are some bad examples as well of the AI implementations. And these are, if you see the names, these are all renowned names. These are Fortune 500 companies. If you know about Microsoft Tay, go to chatbot or go to chat GPT or Google, find out about these. You'll find out Microsoft Tay chatbot. It was an AI chatbot launched on Twitter to learn from user interactions, but within 24 hours, they have to stop it just because it started posting offensive and inappropriate tweets on someone's behalf, right? So the reason it learned from unfiltered user inputs without safeguards. That's where your guardrails come into picture. You need to define the guardrails very, very effectively and precisely in your AI initiatives. Then you have Amazon AI recruiting tool. Amazon developed an AI system to screen resumes. It shows biased against women. That means it was filtering that women should not be coming into the industry, and it was really, really biased information it was giving. The model was trained on historical hiring data dominated by male candidates. That's why it did that. As I mentioned earlier, if your data or if your base is not good, that means you will get biased results, right? And that is completely unethical. Tesla autopilot accidents, and this is again in the initial days of Tesla when it was designing their systems. The AI-driven autopilot failed to detect obstacles and misinterpreted road conditions, leading to fatal crashes. The limitation in object detection and reliance on the driver attention. So due to that, it happened. Impact, again, it raised many eyebrows about the safety and the regulation of autonomous vehicles. And just for everyone's knowledge, these autopilot system in Tesla, these are still not available in UK. They're with very, very limited capabilities. These are available in Tesla vehicles, but in US, it is 100% available. But in UK, the government is still analyzing it. Yes, it is very good, maybe more than 95% accurate. But for the 5%, the government don't want to take that risk. That's why they are having very, very good analysis on that. Google photo tagging error. AI mistakenly labeled people as gorillas. And that's a real, all these are real scenarios, right? Poor training data and lack of diversity in the data sets. Google removed this feature and apologized immediately, and this is not available more. IBM Watson for oncology. Watson was supposed to recommend cancer treatments, but often gave unsafe or incorrect suggestions. Again, because limited real-world data and over-reliance on theoretical models. So if you notice, one common things in all these bad scenarios was the bad data, because AI predictions purely work on the data, what is available to it. It is a simple principle in IT WYSIWYG. What you say, what you get, right? So whatever you feed to the systems, if you feed the garbage, you're going to get the garbage. If you feed it good, it's going to feed you good. So by that, I will end the session. I think it's another 3 minutes remaining. Sorry for that. I thought we'll keep 10 minutes for question and answers. Anyone, any questions?
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, you can ask your query.
Sir, I have a question.
Yep.
Sir, I had a research paper on this topic, but I did not get the data set. You have explained about it. Still, I have a one query. One question is about my paper. My
Yeah,
question, sir, my question is how can a PhD researcher design a multi-modal agriculture data set combining drone, soil sensor, climate data, and farmer inputs?
Okay. So for that, Dr. Tajendra, I would suggest you need to again search on the Google, because I can give you some guidance. I can give you some pointers that how you can use it. It may be a combination of all these different data points, right? You can search on the websites, on government websites. There is a lot many data available. You can search, or you can talk to some farmers. You can go to some farmers. I can share you some links which will be really very helpful to you, and you can get some more data insights into that. And by the way, I mean, with this website, with this slides, I will modify, I will add one more page for all the references that I use. And then accordingly, I will share it with everyone, so that go to those websites. See, I cannot complete everything in one go or in 1.5 hours, right? You understand that. But yes, the data is available, and trust me, those are all valid data sources. Because the whole concept, when I was designing this overall slide, my intention was that I should not be communicated any wrong or any biased information to anyone, right? So yes, I will share you all these links. You can go to the links, find out, we'll get a number of ample information on that.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one query.
Yes, Dr. Dilip.
Sir, is there any subsidy provided by the government of India on hydroponic farming? Because the initial cost of this technique, hydroponic farming, is very high. So it is very typical for the small scale farmer to opt this technology.
All right. Okay. Very good question, Dr. Dilip. But unfortunately, I don't have the exact right answer for that, if there is any program, but I can find it out for you, and I will keep you posted on that. Yes, there are a number of government subsidies available, but what I have seen is that is for the greenhouse, right? But for hydroponics specifically, I have not come across. I have not spent too much of time on that. But yeah, just let me note that down. I will give you those that input. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, dear participant, if you have any query regarding this session, so then you can ask. So I think there is no more query from the participant side. So thank you, sir. Your expertise has highlighted the transformative potential of AI in addressing global challenges, improve crop productivity, and guiding sustainable farming practice. So the clarity and depth of your presentation have truly inspired us to explore new possibility in research, innovation, and practical implementation in the agriculture sector. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So dear participant, kindly turn on your camera for group photograph.
Thanks for showing trust in me, Dr. Dilip, and everyone in the session. And it was my pleasure to present this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dear participant, kindly turn on your camera for group photograph. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
No,
So-
it's my pleasure.
Vinod
Okay,
sir.
thank you, sir.
Yes, Dr. Ratan.
No, sir, thank you very much for being with us today and for delivering a wonderful session. I
Thank
hope
you
in
very much.
future we will have such kind of the sessions with you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thanks for giving the opportunity. It's my pleasure.
It's our pleasure, sir, and welcome again.
Thank you. I heard Dr. Sanjeev Puri was saying something. No.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Dr. Puri, you want to ask something?
Maybe it was just by mistake. That's fine.
Might be, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot once again.
Okay, thanks. I will leave the session now. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining the
sir.
session.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dear participants, as you know that tomorrow is the final day of the FDP. So the session will begin at 2 p.m. So we look forward your active participation. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.